So there's been a lot of talk about CP0 recently. Drake, Robin, Brook, Apu, people even bringing up Sword, like all types of things have been talked about involving CP0. Ever since we saw the chapter where Rob Lucci called on the Den Mushi, I mean, he was ditter. They hop on, they start talking. He's talking to the dude with the scarf, and the dude with the scarf is telling him like, look, we don't think Luffy's gonna win, but if somehow he does happen to win, we'll take Wano over immediately, which to me implies that he is very confident in their skills and capability. Because for someone to see someone defeat someone like Kaido and Big Mom and then be like, oh, we can take him, that's kind of crazy. Now, I do think it has a lot to do with a conversation that Drake and Kobe had, and I will be talking about that in this video, but today we are going to be discussing CP0 and what their next move will be. But before we get into the video, guys, of course, make sure if you like this video that you simply drop a like. Also, if you want more One Piece content like this, make sure you subscribe and turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss any uploads. In my pinned comment will be my Discord and Twitter. Make sure that you join that and follow me there so you can see all the shenanigans I be getting into. But enough of the small talk, let's get straight into the video. So there was a conversation that Drake and Kobe had over a Den Mushi. Now, when Drake and Kobe were talking, Drake was explaining to Kobe that basically the Marines had planned for the pirates to take themselves out. We also find out that Drake is undercover at this point. That's when we find out that he's a part of Sword, an organization that's secrets and we don't know too much about. We don't really know what their objective is. We don't even know who runs it. But there's kind of a play on words here, and I think that they are the exact opposites maybe of what CP0 would be. So CP0 are the shield of the world government, and swords are swords. Sword and shield have a natural contrast. One is usually used for offense, one is usually used for defense. Not saying that that speaks for, you know, their power level. However, maybe one is used to defend the world government, the shield, the other is used to attack the world government, a sword. Now, these are just my mindsets on it, and maybe it's Oda playing on words, maybe it isn't. However, that's just a little bit of what I think could go into what their objectives may be. Currently, CP0's whole thing is taking over Wano if Luffy wins, or taking it from Kaido and Big Mom if they happen to win. I don't know how either one is going to play out for them. However, their other objective is very interesting, and that is simply to capture Nico Robin. Because at this point, Luffy has came way too far for them not to be deadly scared of what could happen if they end up getting all the road poneglyphs and getting to Laugh Tale. The history of the world is something they're afraid of, and it's something that they've been trying to cover up forever. This is something we know. There's a smear campaign, man. Like, they have literally been trying to hide history and make sure that no one understands what the true history of the world is. But going back to that conversation with Drake and Apu, you can correlate it to a later conversation that is held by the CP0 members. They're in this little room, they're playing that little like weird chess game, Hungry Hippo, the game of life, I don't know. They're playing a board game and they're having a conversation about what's going on, and they're going over the numbers and they're like, look, we want the pirates to take out the other pirates. So it seems that both sides have the same mindset. They want the pirates to take themselves out. They want the pirates to weaken themselves so they can come and pick up the scraps. Now, does this mean that they're pussies and they're not really, you know, sure of their own strength? I don't think so. I just think that they know and they're not underestimating the powers that they're going against. They're going against a pirate crew that is strong enough to go against a Yonko crew. And if the Yonko crew ends up winning, they're going against a Yonko crew. So they know the powers that they're going against, which is why I believe they really want to make sure the pirates weaken themselves before they get involved. And clearly they think the time is now because they're on the move. They're chasing after Nico Robin. Now they're in a fight with Apu and Drake. At this point, my mindset is that they will probably capture Nico Robin. Now, I do want to talk about both sides of things because I want to be fair and I want to be impartial. Now, there's a side to where they don't catch Nico Robin, they fail, and then there's the other side where they do. I want to talk about them capturing her because that would take the Nico Robin agenda into the next arc. That creates a problem. So yes, I do like the idea of this, and like I said, I might want to see this just to see what could happen and what could come from this, but it would create a narrative issue if it happened too soon. So if it happens currently, like if it happens right this second, they capture Nico Robin, that's a problem because what is Luffy going to do? He's in the middle of fighting Kaido, but he is also going to want to make sure he protects his crew. So is Luffy going to just stop fighting Kaido to leave? I don't think so. I don't think that that's an option. I don't think that would happen. Is Kaido going to be like, oh, it's okay, Luffy, you can stop and go get Robin? No, of course not. So I don't think it's really an option for Nico Robin to get captured again right now. This would have to be something that gets dragged on till the end of the fights. Like Luffy gets done fighting Kaido, King and Zoro get done, Sanji, Queen, etc., etc. And then they finally catch up to Nico Robin and they get her away from Wano. But this would lead into the next arc. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, when are we getting exposition? I want to see the Reverie stuff. That stuff could happen right after Wano, like in between what's going on with Nico Robin, the CP0 and Luffy and everyone. But another thing is people are like, when are we getting Elbaf? Well, my mindset on this Robin stuff is that it wouldn't be an entire arc. I know that that's a big issue a lot of people have. They're like, well, that will be redundant. That just seems like Enies Lobby 2.0. But you have to really think about it, right? Look at the arcs that are happening right now. Wano in this portion, this act of Wano, seems very like Enies Lobby. The CP0 are here. The Straw Hats are getting individual fights. It's very Enies Lobby-esque. And to me, Oda is making those parallels on purpose. It's not redundant. He's just changing the execution. You can have tropes that kind of repeat at times, or you can have certain like elements of plot that repeat at times. As long as the author is changing the way that he's writing it and he's executing it differently, it still hits. It's still fine. So instead of this being its own arc in itself, I think that it will just be a continuation of what is happening in Wano. I think that they are going to take Nico Robin, but Luffy is going to stop them before it becomes a thing where they get away completely. So yes, I think the capture is going to happen, but I think Luffy and the Straw Hats are going to save them. Now, the next question is, who is going to save Robin? There's two candidates here. Some people say Sanji and some people say Brook. I'm going with either one, but I'm leaning towards Sanji. Now, the Brook one makes sense as well. Brook saving Robin makes a ton of sense because he's in good shape and he also was with her. But I think that goes against it being Brook. The fact that Brook is currently with Robin means to me that when the CP0 member with the scarf or whoever catches up to them, if they lose, Brook is going to lose too because he's there. Like, what do you think? They're going to be able to like win and take Robin and then Brook's not going to do anything? No, I think that they're going to defeat Robin and Brook and take Brook. So the next one is Sanji. Sanji makes the most narrative sense to me because of what happened with the Black Maria situation. Sanji in that situation ends up getting completely hurt and trusting Robin because he can't fight Black Maria. He cannot fight women. He just can't force himself to do that. That's against his morals. That's not what he does. We all know this. But he trusts Robin and Robin protects him and defeats Black Maria pretty handedly. Because Robin did that for Sanji, I think Robin trusting that Sanji will come and save her makes the most narrative sense. So Sanji fighting the CP0 member with the scarf could happen. I think that that will be cool, especially since I think that Sanji getting these power-ups with the exoskeleton, maybe the lineage factor stuff, we don't really know about the whole Lunarian thing, but that's a possibility. And him getting the regenerative powers, you know, the enhanced like just body itself, I think that that's going to help him pack a bigger punch and be able to defeat Queen, because the problem before was Sanji could not offensively hurt Queen really, but now I think he's at a place where he can. So he's going to probably pretty easily defeat Queen and have enough in the tank to go save Robin. And maybe he doesn't defeat the Scarf Guy. Maybe he just does enough to get Robin out of harm's way or to stop Robin from being completely taken from Wano. But I believe this whole situation with CP0 and Robin being an extension of Wano makes so much more sense than it being its own arc, because Wano was already very much like Enies Lobby. The parallels are there. But let's talk about the other side of things. Them failing, them not taking Robin at all. I think for that to happen, Robin and Brook need to win. And Appu and Drake probably need to win their fights too. My problem with that is I truly don't believe that that makes the CP0 look good in the story. The hype and expectations won't really mix if that happens. They are the shield of the world government. Their job is very important and they have been talked up a lot and shown and portrayed to be powerful individuals, people that get the job done. They're also hosting the prodigy himself, Big Rob Lucci, which I hate Rob Lucci. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But Rob Lucci is very powerful. He's grown most likely because he's rised up in ranks and he is a prodigy. The fact that he's in this crew and he may not even be the strongest, like he could be the strongest, but he also might not be. And that speaks a ton to CP0. So I think them just losing to Robin and Brook and just losing to Appu and Drake kind of makes them look bad. in a way. And I know that wouldn't like completely suck for them to win, but it really puts a damper on who the CP0 are and portrayed to be. So I don't really see a world in which they just completely lose. I think they do take Robin, but Sanji definitely ends up saving the day. Also, Brook could help out, but Brook being with Robin really makes me think Brook's gonna lose, like with Robin before Robin is taken. At that point, I feel like the next time CP0 is going to get involved and the next move after that is to get Rob Lucci involved. Now, Rob Lucci could be on the way to Wano. We don't know 100% where his ship was headed. We did see him in a cabin of a ship. I think Kaku was there too. But that doesn't mean that he's on the way to Wano. However, that does mean that he's still relevant to the story and Oda still remembers that Rob Lucci is in the story. So if the scarf guy fails, maybe Rob Lucci is the most powerful member and maybe he's like, okay, look, I gotta take things into my own hand. I am going to be the one to get Robin, which could lead to a Luffy and Lucci rematch, which will be crazy. You feel me? My man Luffy gonna do him dirty though. Stop playing. Yo, stop playing with me, you feel me? And that could also lead to a Kaku and Zoro rematch, which again, crazy. Zoro used Ashura on that man before. Like we didn't forget that, bro. That's so fire. But I mean, shoot, that might happen as soon as Wano. Maybe Rob Lucci does show up, but oh my God. But I think no matter what though, Robin is going to get saved by Sanji. And I think the very next move is Rob Lucci's going to have to take things into his own hand. That just makes the most sense to me. But of course, these are just my thoughts on the CP0, their next move. But I want to know what all of you think. So make sure you comment down below and let me know. Again, my pinned comment has Twitter and Discord links. Make sure you follow me there and join the Discord. And as always, I hope you all are staying safe and healthy during these trying times. This has been Synsei Inc., and I will see you all in the next video.